Okay, listen, if you've ever had that feeling, that you're just stuck, trapped in a life that feels way more like an obligation than a real adventure, then this is for you. We're about to pull apart that whole story you've been sold about work and survival, and maybe, just maybe, find the one you are actually meant to live.
Sound familiar? It probably does. This is the script we're all handed, right? The story that says our main goal here is to get a job, trade our precious time for money, and find our little slot in the system. It's sold to us as the only smart, responsible path, the only real way to be secure.
But here's the thing you have to get, and it's a big one. It's just a story. Seriously. It's not some fundamental law of the universe. It's just a premise, something you learned that has shaped your entire experience. It's like a lens you were given that dictates how you see yourself and your place in the world. And that distinction is absolutely crucial. This whole idea that you're on this planet to work for a living, that's something that was added on later. It was layered on top of who you really are. Your actual reason for being here, it's something much, much deeper.
Now this reframes everything. You are not some tiny, insignificant speck dropped into this massive, uncaring universe. Try this on for size. You are the universe. It's focusing all of its awareness through your unique point of view. You're not just in the cosmos, you are a literal focal point of it.
So, to get back to that true nature, we have to start deconstructing the story. And that begins with tackling the huge misunderstandings that keep us feeling trapped, especially that core belief that ties our very survival to these external systems. This right here, this gets to the very heart of the problem. We're taught that we have to earn our right to be here. But think about it. Existence itself is unconditional. The sun doesn't send you a bill for its warmth. You don't get charged for the air you breathe. Just being here is all the justification you'll ever need. This is a really radical way to think about anxiety. What if it's not a reaction to a scary, unsafe world? What if that knot in your stomach, that feeling of dread, is actually an internal signal, an alarm bell telling you that you've drifted off your path, that you've moved away from what truly excites you? Okay, so if anxiety is the signal that you're off course, what gets you back on track? Well, the answer is your own internal compass, your true north. And we're going to call this your highest excitement. And let's be clear, we're not just talking about a fleeting moment of happiness. Your highest excitement is that deep, humming, resonant feeling. You know the one. It's that physical and emotional sensation that tells you you are perfectly aligned with your core self. It's the feeling that just says, yes, this is it. This is me. Now, it's really important we get this straight. Following your excitement is not about being reckless or throwing all your responsibilities out the window. Not at all. It's about listening to the signal of your most authentic self. It's the difference between doing what you think you should do and doing what you simply are. And when you make that shift, it changes the entire game. When you start operating from that place of alignment, the constant struggle to make a living just dissolves. You're not forcing it anymore. You stop trading your life away piece by piece. You are quite simply living. You know, the biggest fear that stops almost everyone is this. If I actually do what I love, my whole world will fall apart. But that's the great misunderstanding. Reality doesn't collapse when you choose to be authentic. It reorganizes itself around the new you. So how does that even happen? Well, it starts with one small, authentic choice, then another. And as you keep doing that, you naturally stop leaning so hard on external things like a job title or a paycheck for your sense of security. You start finding that support inside yourself. And then you just watch as your outer reality starts to reshape and reflect your new inner state. Please remember this. Authenticity is a creative force, not a destructive one. When you finally align with who you truly are, you send out a completely different signal to the universe. And the universe has no choice but to respond to that new signal, reorganizing to bring you people, opportunities, and resources that match it. All of this brings us to a huge, fundamental shift in how we even think about survival.
It's about moving away from a definition built on fear and scarcity and moving towards one based on empowerment and creation.
True survival isn't a transaction, it's an act of creation. You are here to express your unique energy, to create from that authentic place, not to beg for permission to exist. Your worth is a given. It is not defined by your job.
For so long, probably your whole life, the driving question has been, how do I make it? How do I make enough money to survive? But if your existence is already a given and your true purpose is to create, well, that old question is completely obsolete. It's time for a new one.
This is the question that unlocks everything. It shifts your focus completely, from obligation to creation, from fear to excitement. This is the question that gives you the power to design your life from the inside out, guided by your own inner compass instead of a bunch of external demands.
So, what's the one thing to take away from all of this? Your life is meant to be so much more than a transaction. You are not a battery to be drained. You are a creator, here to experience the fullness of who you are. And never, ever forget, you were not put here just to work.